about. Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the next topic, that is properties of colloids. Okay. So first property is heterogeneity. First property is माइक स्विच ऑफ कीजिए अपने. The first property of heterogeneity. Okay. So heterogeneity means the heterogeneous nature of the solutions. So colloids are basically heterogeneous in nature. Colloids are heterogeneous in nature. But basically they looks like the homogeneous. Okay, they looks like homogeneous. Actually they are heterogeneous. Okay. Second property is the filterability. Filterability. Through the simple filter, we can separate the colloid solutions, but so you can write here colloids can pass through simple filter paper. Simple filter paper, but do not pass through the semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membranes. Okay, so colloidal solutions do not through the semi-permeable. Next property is the surface area. Surface area. So the surface area of the colloidal part surface area of colloidal particles is are greater than the other same sized particles. The other same sized particles. Okay. Next property, colloidal. Next property is colligative property. Colligative properties. So you already studied about the colligative properties in solution chapter. So there are various types of colligative properties. First one is elevation of boiling point, freezing of freezing point, okay, depression and freezing point, vapor pressure, or so what these are the colligative properties. So what are their behaviors about the colloidal solutions? So they have colligative properties of the colloidal solution. The colligative properties of colloidal salts have smaller order. Smaller order. Okay. Next, smaller order means that these colloidal solutions have the lesser quantities or lesser values in comparison of true solutions and suspensions. Next property is okay. Next property is color. Yes, the color of colloidal solutions are depending on the particle size. Okay. And these colors are depending on the size of the particles, size of the particles of the colloids. Okay. Now, next topic is this. This was the properties of the colloidal solution. Now we will discuss about Tyndall effect. Okay. Next topic is Tyndall effect. So what is the Tyndall effect? Colloidal particles, because they are in the size of particles 200 nanometers. The surface area of particles are much greater. We scattered a light. So what will you do? This is an experiment. Okay. So take a colloidal solution in a glass with some water. And keep it in a dark room. Keep it in a dark room. And here you can use any torch or a light beam So what will happen when you see this experiment in the dark room? You will see that the light beam is scattered by the particles present in this solution, just like that. The light beam is scattered like this, okay, scattered by these particles, and this effect is called the Tyndall effect. So in short, you will write here the scattering of light beam by the particles present in the solution. Okay. So this was the Tyndall effect. The particle, because the size of the colloidal particle is in between the range 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. So this size is enough to scatter any light surface. Okay. Now, next topic is Brownian motion. Brownian motion. In short, you can write a zigzag motion. A zigzag motion. Okay. So this was discovered by the scientist Zygmundi. Okay. Oh, sorry. Tyndall effect was discovered by the Zygmundi, but the Brownian motion was discovered by the Robert Brown. So it was discovered by, or it was observed by Robert Brown. That's why its name is Brownian motion. Now, what is the Brownian motion? When you see the particles of the colloid in a light, so you can see the particles of colloids movement. Colloid particles will move in a zigzag manner. Okay? Just like this is a particle, and when it moves, it will collide to another particle. Then this will give its kinetic energy to this particle. Then it will collide to another particle and transfer its kinetic energy to this particle. Just like that, this particle will give its kinetic energy to another particle. Further, this particle give its kinetic energy to this particle. So it is looking like it looks like the zigzag motion. Okay, so that's why it is called the Brownian motion or a zigzag zigzag motion. The basic important reason behind the zigzag motion or Brownian motion is the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy as well as the collision of the particles. Collision of the particles. Whenever a particle collides to another particle, it transfers its kinetic energy to, for example, like this is a particle, okay, and so when it collides to this particle, this this will transfer its kinetic energy to this particle. Now, this particle have new kinetic energy and it will move further and it will collide to someone. So in this way, they will follow the zigzag motion, and this motion is called the Brownian motion. Okay, so this was the Brownian motion. Now, Brownian motion was affected by the viscosity. That means if your solution is more viscous, the Brownian motion will slow down. So you can write here, if solution is more viscous, then the Brownian motion will decreases. Okay. So when viscosity is arises, viscosity due to viscous solution or viscosity arises, the particles movement will slow down. Okay, because the obstruction between the path, obstruction in the path of the motion of the particle. Okay, when this particle move further, but due to the obstruction, this will not move faster because of the obstruction due to the viscosity. Okay, so when viscosity rises up, the motion will decreases of the colloidal particle. The more viscous the solution, lesser the Brownian motion. Now, the next topic is electrophoresis. So this is a way to prove that the colloidal particles have some charges. Okay. So by this experiment, you can prove that a colloidal have some electrical properties. Okay. So for this experiment, you need a tube with U shape, a glass tube of U shape. Okay, U-shaped glass tube, and two electrodes are fixed here. In this glass tube, you fill the colloidal solution. Okay, in this glass tube, you will fill the colloidal solution and join these electrodes with a battery. Okay, so this is positive electrode and this is negative electrode. Clear? Positive electrode is known as the cathode and the negative electrode is known as the anode. So you can write here the cathode and anode. Okay, so in this solution, when these electrodes are dipped in this colloidal solution, whenever you switch on the battery, the particles present in this solution will move faster from these two electrodes. The particles which have positive charges will go towards the negative electrode, that means anode, and the particles which have the negative charges, they will go towards the cathode electrode. Okay. So in this way, the colloidal particles of different charges will deposit in different sites or different electrodes. So you can write here movement of particles under an applied electric potential is called under an electric potential is called electrophoresis. Okay, so this was the electrophoresis, and by electrophoresis you can separate also the particles, because in this way you can separate the positive particles and negative particles separately, correct? So that's why this is called electrophoresis, and hence we can say that some colloidal particles have the positive charge and some of them have negative charges. Okay. Now the applications of electrophoresis. Now the applications of the electrophoresis. So first application is basically to separate the impurities present in water. Okay. Present in water. Next application is to precipitate the toxic gases. To precipitate the toxic gases, to prevent pollution, to prevent pollution. Okay, that is by the electrophoresis you can prevent the pollution of the air or gas. Next property is next application is paint colloidal colors on metal plates. To paint colloids on the metal plates or surfaces. Okay, so these was the applications of the colloidal particles or colloidal solutions, and we discussed here the properties of the colloidal solution first. Second, we discussed about the Tyndall effect, which was given by the Zygmundi. Then we discussed here the Brownian motion, which was observed by the Robert Brown. And the third was the electrophoresis. And by electrophoresis, you can prove that colloidal solutions have some charges. So by this method, you can separate the colloidal particles through the electrodes. And these are the applications. First one is you can separate the impurities. Second one is to prevent the air pollution, and the third is the for paint or for painting the metal surface. So the next topic we will discuss of this chapter